a Gmail account, in your email box, on your print server, wherever this data lives, it needs to be able to be discovered and fingerprinted. Secondly, you need to map, manage, and control personal data flows. Now, one fundamental thing that fails in DLP solutions is ICT lacks, I would say, not the acumen, that would be a dangerous statement, lacks the tools to have the logical discussion with the data owner. Now look at those 4 columns on the five columns on the screen there. It's simple, guys. You're first going to ask what data, or who wants to access what data, okay? Where do they want to do it? How do they want to send it? And what do you want to do about it? Think of those 5 stages. Now it's simple. Now it's pretty simple to build the data policy. And that's exactly how we build the DLP policy. We sit with the data owner and we ask him those 5 basic questions. And you build your policy. Don't forget, native in the solution lives probably about 28 different privacy laws already. Okay, so if you simply want to monitor or you want to apply GDPR, it's quite easy to do so. That's a question you need to ask your DLP provider. Okay, do you have native policies in the system that I can simply switch on and measure myself against best practices? And when they build these DLP policies or these privacy regulations in the platform, this is the process they used. And then you need to prepare in a timely fashion to respond to a data incident. So you need that forensic evidence to be recorded in the DLP policies. I hope now you realize you should look at with different eyes at a vendor claiming that they can do DLP. One of our wonderful big blue vendors claim that they can do DLP in their cloud infrastructure. Truth is, they can't discover. They can't fingerprint the data. Okay, if you can't do that, how can you inventory your data and start looking after your asset? Okay. You will not always live in a structured world. So there's a set of data that will always be structured, right? On that database, within that medical record, within that accounts department, whatever the case might be. But data flows dynamically. So you might find yourself in an unstructured world where you say, you know what, I don't really know where all this data lives. What we do in such an instance is we discover still, okay, and we fingerprint the data that you know about. Now remember, I cautioned this morning against data classification. I don't talk against classification, okay? I just caution, because that is a showstopper in many DLP projects, okay? Because an academic data classification process can keep you busy for a good part of 2 years. And in my 26 years career, I have not witnessed one successful data classification project. Anyone wants to argue with me on that point? Anyone? Okay, if you find one, please phone me. I would love to know about it. Okay, so you're going to have to move from a structured to an unstructured, or from an unstructured world to a structured world. So what we're going to do is, with the discovery capability, we're going to look at the structured world, and we're going to show the structured world to the unstructured world. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to go to the customer record database. I'm going to take that customer record, and I'm going to tell the discovery tool, you know what, this is what the data looks like. Go find it anywhere else. And he's going to bring it back. The moment he brings it back, I can fingerprint it, and I can identify inventory data as if it is structured, no matter where it lives now. Okay, and then the last one is indicator of theft. Data isn't just lost, it can be stolen too. All right, please keep that in mind. Last thing around GDPR is you need to have the capability to monitor your data flow. All right, once again, back to the way that we built the policy. Native policies in the platform should allow you to switch this on, not block. Because block might break a business process. But what monitoring does, it indicates to us where's the violation in the particular policy. So we can go, in the first 3 months, what you experience in a DLP deployment is you experience a significant spike out of the baseline. But we can go to every single spike and identify, is this a legitimate data leak? Is it an accidental leak? Is it a broken business process? Or what is it that happened in that particular instance? Okay. So data in motion, the considerations, network, you've got instant messaging, social media, FTP, email, network printer, web, cloud, active sync. Those are typically the network components that you want to monitor. On the endpoint, active sync, instant messaging, your print server, your email, media, web and email, everything you want to monitor. And in the cloud, you want to monitor and have the capability to discover in the cloud, in the app, is there changes in that file, etc., and you need to do so dynamically. Okay. Any questions thus far, guys? No questions. Does everything make sense? Does it give you good guidance? Okay. All right. And then you need to prepare for investigation and the data breach. All right. So we've got a little fancy tool that correlates all the information. We call it insider threat. So what it does, it takes a feed from your mail, your web, your DLP, etc., etc., etc. And as the various different security or the data leakage incidents happen, a user trying to copy a file to a USB stick, or he's trying to send it via Gmail, or he's trying to transfer it on social media or on a chat site across the globe, and we pick up all these activities. What this insider threat basically does, it correlates this and it puts a risk rating to that user's behavior. Okay? And now the security operations center or your security team can click on this user and say, listen, this is risky behavior. What it will also do, based on that chain of events, it will switch on an over-the-shoulder recording of exactly what that user is doing. So the moment the breach happens, first and foremost, our security team's alerted, who can pick up the team to our the phone to our HR team, and we can walk to the user's machine and say, listen, you're busy leaking confidential data here. Okay? If he argues with us or we want to take it to perpetration, what we simply do is the forensic evidence is already in the insider threat console. These are the type of capabilities you're looking for in a DLP solution. I don't have too much time left, so I'm going to run through a few other use cases. Do we have banking organizations in the room? No one from banking? There we go. Okay. Let's talk about detection of anomalous behavior. Are you guys also struggling with keyloggers in the local market? Compromise of data based on keyloggers on some of your devices? Okay. Major problem down in South Africa. Did you know that keylogger at some point in time needs to copy to Notepad before he can send the data out or store the data or whatever the case might be? That's anomalous behavior, right? Okay, that is not someone, it's an entity sitting there trying to compromise the data. Okay, the DLP product can detect and block if they want to take that piece of information on the keylogger and copy it to a notepad. A more common example, let's talk about WannaCry. Okay, anyone familiar with WannaCry? Okay, touch wood, not one single force point customer, there's no wood. Okay, not one single WannaCry or force point customer cried around WannaCry. Why? We did not detect the email coming in, okay, or the file coming into the network. But the moment the user, the machine was compromised, and the program tried to call back via the web channel, we picked up that callback to the command and control server. So the data or the machine could not be really compromised because the command would come from the command and control server. That's anomalous behavior. So in that instance, the solutions you'll be deploying is first and foremost our user and entity behavior analysis. Okay? Remember I spoke this morning about my 7-year-old son and my behavior on my phone? We can actually detect behavior of users on machine. User and entity behavior analysis. The other solution that's going to help us there is the DLP solution, because it will block or make sure that that data is not compromised. Next example. I've got 3 minutes left. Discover and protect data in the cloud and control access to cloud applications. First and foremost, force point DLP. Okay, that will provide you with the discovery and the fingerprinting capability. We mentioned that. And the second one is the Cloud Access Security Broker. Okay, so Cloud Access Security Broker is basically the addition to the web platform. And what it does, it acts as a security broker between the enterprise and the cloud application. So CASP can show you what sanctioned applications are used in your organization, what unsanctioned applications are used in your organization. The DLP component can show you what data is flowing from the enterprise to that cloud application, like Dropbox. Dropbox is a phenomenal productivity tool. It's the #1 risk tool in a DLP situation. Do you agree? Okay, because what do users do if they can't mail, if they can't print, if they can't transfer the file? They upload it to Dropbox and they send their buddy and say, listen, go fetch it in Dropbox. It's a data leak. It facilitates a data leak. So what Cloud Access Security Broker will do, it will show you the risk rating of the various different applications that's in your organization. Remember the example this morning. The average CIO thinks he's got 70 applications in and on his network. The true number is 730. It's phenomenal. It's significant. But let's move on. Okay. So there's some more use cases. The more you add, and one thing, I don't say paint the whole world green, paint the whole world red, paint the whole world blue. What I do want to encourage organizations to do, consolidate and optimize. There's mature vendors out there with very nice integrated solutions. And I can probably stand on this stage and name 6, 7 of them quite easily. Okay, McAfee, Checkpoint, Cisco, Symantec, ForcePoint. That's got a consolidated wraparound strategy. Okay, consolidate and optimize. The world is moving to a one central management console regime. Okay. Any questions? Unfortunately, my time is up. All my presentations will be available. There's some more use cases in the presentation. As I said, the GDPR guideline and handbook available from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Christo. Just hold on there. Hold on there.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes. And we are about to